welcome to our chat show. Accompanied by Mr. Sabir Pawar, we have Arpit Srivastava. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of AI Machines and Marketers Show. And today we are exploring the ranking in the age of reasoning, how AI is changing search today. Well, to be honest, search is no longer a keyword and a query result transaction, but it is much more. And in this doing so, AI has helped a lot. People are talking to AI like they are talking to their real assistants. And in return, they expect context, clarity, and conclusion, and that too in a snap of a time. Well, in today's episode, we are actually trying to know how this shift is letting the people or AI to understand what actually people want and how they want their answers to be. How it look like in the age where answers are generated, not just listed. What should brand do to ensure their visibility where AI has turned out to be their gatekeeper or I say the transmitter of informations? And here's the hook, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time, we are not competing to rank on a page, but we are actually competing to gain AI's trust and confidence. Well, without further much ado, please welcome our guest speakers today, who brings enormous lights and knowledge to every room they step into. Please welcome Mr. Arpit Srivastava, VP and Growth Marketing and Analytics at Growth Natives, accompanied by Mr. Sabir Pawar, Director of Growth Marketing at Growth Natives. Well, welcome Arpit, welcome Samir, welcome to our chat show. So Arpit, for you, it's like again homecoming.
Yes.
So how are you feeling today?
Really excited. In fact, I think it's second time. It's
Right.
an always pleasure to have him because I have huge respect for people who can stick to their craft for multiple decades. It takes a lot of zeal and excitement and you to really be that person that Samir is. And that's why I'm always pumped up whenever this kind of chat show comes in and some accompanied by Samir.
Definitely. And Samir, as I know you, you are the one man who literally have had a decades of experience, and that is also nurtured by every new things that turns out, whether it's AI or anything new. So how are you feeling today to be on our show?
Yeah, glad to be here. And it is always privilege to have this discussion with Abhijit. And I think after a very long time, we are having this session.
Definitely.
So I'm quite excited.
Well, glad to hear that. So shall we begin?
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. And here comes my first question to you both. As we talk about AI, AI is changing everything. So my question is, how AI is changing what people look for and how they expect their answers to be?
So there is a very, you can say, substantial shift. It is not anymore the traditional top 10 blue links, but it is something that gone far beyond.
Right.
Right. So I think the way technology changing, the latest news is even though ChatGPT is introducing semantic uh, technologies for paid cap.
Right.
So even though technology is not touching only organic but paid as well, and it's going to play a very important role. So it is very exciting time uh, to to be.
Right. Yeah. To me, I think it's more like a renaissance moment. Why? Because when I started 15 years back, there were a lot of gurus that used to like preach about SEO, and I used to follow a lot of them. But of late, I have not seen much from them. But in last 18 months, a lot of people have come back to digital and they've started speaking again. So people like Rand Fishkin, Bill Reynolds, Ramesh Kaushik, you name them. And it's not restricted to just search or digital marketing. It's actually kind of a pattern I'm seeing across different industries or other leaders. So you pick any other person like Mark Benioff. I have never heard that person uh, in YouTube, on social media, but now he's very active. Why? Because it's a moment where you will have to pivot. You will have to rethink about your own overall business.
Right.
So it's definitely an exciting time, and I think a lot of new businesses will emerge. A lot of will perish, honestly, and that's where um, I think the whole LLM platforms that have come into picture, uh, they are kind of new middleman.
Right.
You can think of them like a massive aggregators across any vertical you pick, right?
Right.
And that means if there's a new middleman come in picture, a lot of those old middlemen might not work the way they used to be. Think about, let's say, your own website. It the purpose of website might change.
Right.
So we will talk more about it. It's definitely very exciting.
Yeah, that's true. And Samir, as Arpit said, it's like a renaissance to him. And you also talked about it's no more the 10 blue ticks answers there. So, as the AI evolves and in the world of chat based answers and AI overviews, what does ranking actually mean now?
So I'll give you one analogy to you and our listeners as well. Uh, so analogy is the way you are jotting down some sentences, right? At content writing the copy, and the way human brain perceives it, the way it understand it. So for example, Rajneesh have taken flight from Chandigarh to uh, Indira Gandhi Airport in Delhi,
Right.
and he took a Uber to meet his uncle.
Right.
Okay, now these sentences I have written. Now here game is it is no anymore a gamut of in traditional SEO. Maybe there was a some keyword that we were optimizing. It is no more. It is actually the way we create a picture. Our brain create a picture that actual Rajneesh have or they dealing hand and he's going to airport. So Rajneesh person indeed. Chandigarh Airport organization entity. Then Jet Airways organization entity. Then Rajneesh is landing in at Indira Gandhi International Airport. That is again a business entity, a place entity. From there, he is taking again Uber. Uber is again business entity, is the uncle person entity. Now look at it this. The way human perceives, the information, the way it consumes it, I think exactly that way machines are understanding the context. So it is no keyword anymore. It is more about how deeply you understand the subject, how accurate you are in the information, what kind of authority you are having. So, say on the left hand side, there is a one domain has a huge domain authority and so much work they have done over the years, like 50,000 backlinks, and they have domain authority 72, and they have done traditional SEO cut to cut across on the corner very perfectly. They have amazing backing, and on another hand, uh, there is a guy who have registered domain last month, but he have covered entity thoroughly. Right. He have amazing information or coverage or topical authority or topicality across the documents. Very correct. So the guy in a first case or a website in a first case is not going to win anymore. Whereas the guy in a second place. So even it has changed PR drastically. It is not anymore that spray and pray, like you are publishing one PR at multiple places. It differ industry to this. Okay, and when we are saying things like internal links are the new links. I mean the kind of context that we are giving to the machine, that fine you are parsing the documents, but when you are going to encounter this internal link, when this is something of context with the document, and I am using very right set of NLP terms. It's not a keyword. It is not the anchor text. It is not even the generic click here and no more. But it is very natural the way Wikipedia does. Okay, so the whole, I think the game of SEO, I think we shall stop to say SEO as a SEO, but it is by and large it is the EU. So it is all about your branding. Branding has become very important. Second thing, your content persons. There was a illusion like we don't require content in the age of So whosoever business owners or people who are optimizing their site, please note, AI will give you hallucination, but only human can give you, real very deep research and understanding. So I think the importance of, humans are becoming, more prominent in the age of AI. Right. Right. So I think it is all about contentment of the person. I mean, kind of voraciousness, the kind of effort that person have taken. There is no more scope for banal mindsets. Right. That who mingles tactics into the strategy. Right. So earlier in SEO, people were doing tactics. And in Tom, Dick, Harry is coming and then they are doing, we do SEO, we promote this. No. These have become very serious business and it requires expertise, authority. So I think AI is all about context, and you will have context only when you are voracious, when you are going deeper, when you have a contentment. So of course, content writer, another shift is content writers are becoming kind of designers. I've seen this kind of transformation. Designers are becoming programmers. Right. And AI SEO people are becoming prompt expert. Uh, I think it is all three.
Right. I think to your original question, the ranking somehow will become very irrelevant because now you have like one answer, right? There are no more 10 links. So it's more important that do you have that depth that LLM actually preferring to be cited? Right. So the moment you get citation, you get visibility on those LLM platforms, that's where you will make a difference. I think so we talked about brand. So I have actually lived both the brand side as well as the SEO side. And there is always a bit of, I would say, uh, difference in opinion between these two. But now time has come when these two things have to forcefully work together. Otherwise, there is no chance that you will make a mark. Right. See, big on one hand on one hand you have got the narrative of brand that alone cannot be passed to the LLM platforms. And then if you don't have a differentiator, you don't have a narrative, it's very difficult for even the QAU team to make a difference. So those two things have to work together, and then I create a plan that obviously can show you little different. At the same time, it really also has good coverage of all the important aspects, how we can make the whole narrative more machine readable, right, in depth, and actually consistent, not only in the website itself, but also wherever you are actually present, whether it's business profiles, whether it's Reddit, whether it's your Wikipedia presence. So whether it's the brand or the author or the person associated or the influencers and your topics, how good you have created that knowledge graph. Right. That will define, and I think I just pick what Samir mentioned. It's not just about content writing; it is also about content configuration, which adds to the whole narrative and AUT together.
Right. This thing's literally, which is my next question, and that is for all the budding businesses who have stepped into the era of AI. This question is especially from their behalf. Like, what businesses or brands should do to ensure that the AI tools recognizes their content? Like, what makes them acceptable in the world of AI?
So the first and foremost thing is it will sound very shrewd, but being honest, that is the first thing uh, uh, that somewhere we need to accept that it is not brand that selfishly looking outside, right? But it is what pinpoint at the brand we are solving and what is our overall decorum and a very solid understanding about the competition. Who is the prominent player there and what they are doing, uh, how they are getting so much omnipresence across a Gemini, ChatGPT, and a cloud for that matter. So what they are doing, then building your own craft that now it is possible in the age of AI. you can invest very smartly uh, uh, to create a content that will do branding and same time achieve uh, uh, semantic scores and in the best possible semantic scores. So when I'm saying semantic scores, it means you can craft that these are my business neckline, the business is happening here, and these are the compliances sections. We call that as the EEAT sections.
Right.
Right. So see, not necessarily EAT section is for the AI.
Right.
It is primarily for your end customer. Customer don't know your branding, they know their pay.
Right.
Right. So here your reviews playing very important role. UGC content. So what kind of overall NPS score I'm having and what people are, what it is not a brand who are building the narrative. It is a third party that building a narrative for your brand.
Right.
And that is a big thing. So if it is a B2B, then there is a different set of recommendations that from where we have to build reviews and all those things, all the trust factors. And if it is a B2C, there is a different. So for B2C, it is very critical, especially e-commerce, B2C, D2C, brand who are into these sectors. They should have a program for reputation management. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. You can see the Amazon, it is giving you the overall average score of the reviews and even the opinion. What is the voice of masses about this particular product? And then and there you are making decision. Okay. Then with all platforms are coming with their own e-commerce platform. So Perplexity already have Pro, ChatGPT already have a tie-up with the Shopify. So things are changing very drastically, and it is not a very hefty investment the way traditionally we used to invest into all these, I will say, apparatus or components. But what he will require uh, a very good team or agency who understand, like growth natives, who have that hands-on experience. They go deeper. They understand, the interline technology. Actually, machine understand only binary form.
Exactly.
Right. But there are the various factors that play a very important role, and I think uh, because the two three things brands should do. So getting the right set of people is very important.
Difference. Right.
So and the last point, I think it is all about people. If people are becoming far more important in the age of AI. It is not in the reverse manner. That people will, there was a common consensus that AI will snatch my job. AI matching job for them who are clumsy, who are not changed, and they have taken their work for granted.
Exactly.
Okay, so I think that is a big difference.
Basically, it's like being vigilant and curious at the same time. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
That's keep me moving. Well, that's bring me to another question to you, Arpit. As are our usual SEO goals, that is click, ranking, impressions, are they still relevant?
Well, definitely we'll have to revisit all those metrics as well because given the massive change in the whole SEO landscape, the metrics will also differ now because now you're basically living in a no-click world. So while the word you will just measure clicks, right? And we have been big supporter about not just driving traffic, but driving actual business impact. So that principle still stays. So depending upon the kind of initiatives that you are running and your AIS, your team, larger scheme of things, right, you should try to associate what kind of business impact you're making. But obviously, there are certain top of the funnel awareness metric that you still try to track things like, are you getting cited on these LLM platforms across all the options that are available, right? And then obviously, we'll have to research and identify certain queries which actually are very relevant and close to your category, the service and product you're offering, and then how often you get cited or sourced or mentioned. Those are like really good one to track, to be aware that your brand has got a recognition. So those are like top of the funnel metrics. And some of these platforms also give you access to referral traffic. So you know if someone came from ChatGPT, because if there's a link that someone has clicked,
Right.
it's very likely that those are very qualified users.
Right.
And then most of the tools that we have, be it HubSpot, be it Growth, be it uh, Google Analytics, they track separately. And there's a bit of work that is required that you need to basically segment them under, let's say, AI bucket.
Right.
And then they differentiate between different LLM platforms. So you know, like how many users came from these platforms.
Right.
And mark my word, those users that are coming are really highly qualified, which means the conversions that you're expecting from a regular traffic versus AI traffic is going to be 2-3 times more. So again, it's very important to track those, and then not only track the anonymous users, but also the leads that are getting created through these channels.
Right.
And then down to pipeline and revenue. That's how you will basically measure end to end. Like, yes, there was an SEO team that actually pivoted to more like a AO team. They brought these new traffic sources, and here's the impact in terms of leads and revenue and pipeline, and that's how you get more attention and the ears of C-suite, as we call it. So obviously that is important. I think apart from that, since brand has become more important, so tracking the brand mentions and then uh, having that consistency of your presence and your narrative across different channels is very important, because that's how search engines will, not only search engines, but new LLM platforms will pick and sort of create an image about your
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Samir has much to say about this because that brings his expertise to the table.
Yeah.
So what's your take on this, Samir?
That to extend further what Arpit had said, uh, the most important metric is like, it was and it is that is conversion. Right. Is point blank accurate on the same. And I think my opinions are quite in tandem with what Arpit has proved. Yeah.
So okay, so now understanding this, which brings me obviously to the next question, and that's for you, Samir. Is SEO more about like today I trend that understanding people or training algorithms?
Uh, Very tricky question. It is always people first.
Right.
Okay. Uh, Ultimately, we are using machine learning or all the technology for whom? It is for the humans.
Right.
Right. So it is written by human for humans. It is there. So that remain intact. Only thing is at what pace you are doing it. For example, earlier it was like a very big thing to create content on the fly, specifically the content types that had involvement of the infographics and videos and images. Now that you can do, at within a very limited span. So that is a big shift. So even though Google and even though all platforms, uh, they're willing that you have to use all this platform to create that kind of a content repository.
Right.
Right. So I think this is a big shift, and we can create images and videos, and when we can do a very good they are calling it as the information gain factor, and it includes like what kind of a variety of tags the document had. It is not only text, no text. It is videos, it is podcasts, it is audio, it is images, it is infographics that you are using, and it becoming it compounds into a beautiful comprehension for the end reader.
Right.
So they technically they are calling it as a multimodality, right? So Google had came with multimodality with a bird and a mom. So there are many how machine will understand a particular concept or things. So see, ultimately what it is going for is it is going for knitting that knowledge graph.
Right.
Right. Current side on, something on the right hand side of a Google. So that is becoming more and more, important. Take it whether it is your Google My Business, it is your knowledge graph,
Right.
and then for products, there is a Google have a separate, I will say, algorithm that uh, it is e-commerce. Right now, I'm not able to recall it. Now, shopping graph. The way for B2B, there is a knowledge graph. Here is the shopping graph.
Shopping graph.
And I think things are changing very rapidly, and we can take benefit of all these.
So I would say, yeah, luckily user still remains at the center of everything that we do. But then there is one more thing that has come into picture, what we call as agents.
Right.
Yeah, because agents are going to be your middleman between the end users for whom you're creating the content. So they obviously are in the center, but are we able to pass similar narrative information to the agent such that now they're able to pass it to the end user? So we'll have to create that understanding, and obviously there are certain technical nuances how you're going to make it more machine interpretable. So we talked about multimodality, and that is not just text, but variety of content types should be part of your overall narrative. And obviously the e-commerce, if I talk about, given that most of these LLM platforms now have integrations with all the big um, e-commerce technologies, which means it is not just content. Are you able to have a direct integration with these platforms?
Right.
So it's more like you have e-commerce, but you also have a API layer that directly talks to these LLM platforms, because they're not coming to your website anymore. Even in the Google, what will happen is, and happening right now, it's live in US, is you search a query about e-commerce. There are a bunch of players that will appear. The user basically now checks 2-3 options across different brands, compare the prices, and makes the payment. So the end-to-end cart journey is no more in sitting on your website, sitting on the third-party platform. Are you able to pass all that information such that now agent understand your product, pass that relevant information to the user, and now user understand this is the right product for you. He selects, make that choice. So everything is happening on the fly at that moment.
Right.
So it's a different.
Right. Definitely. Well, as we move toward the end of our segment, which brings me to the one and actually most important question, and that's to you both. What new skill will SEO team needs to elevate as AI keeps evolving?
The first and foremost thing is youth that is in between your 2 years, and that is brain curiosity.
Curiosity.
Right. So anybody who has a very deep curiosity or curious about things, HEO is the business. It is becoming more like getting into founder shoots.
Right.
You need to run with the rabbit and hunt with the hounds. So any tool is okay. But first people. So Avinash Paushik famously said 80-20. So 80% humans and 20% tools. So people are driving Ferrari like moped. If you don't know how to use that tool, so the expertise and understanding, even though there are some popular tools like the Screaming Frog, now it has started with uh, ingrams. It is giving you the ingrams. So ingrams is nothing. It is a simple to understand the topicality and across the document to document. So see, this vocabulary also change. It is no more pages or blog articles. It is the documents. And there are the new things that are playing very important role. It's uh, query extraction, not the query retrieval. So uh, uh, a very good AI SEO expert will look for query extraction. Query extraction, it means like, it is not us who is taking to AI. AI already, they have extracted uh, and they are having their own training data, and they have embedded into their vector databases. So the kind of craft you are creating, is it matching with that vectors data? If it matches, there is a high probability that your query will get served. So there are many tools like Wiki, Profound. So Wiki is symmetry from Dixon Jones. I don't know why many people are not aware about this tool, but it is the abbreviation of what AI knows about you, and it gives this very fantastic understanding about the confidence of AI is having about your brand. So there is a confidence score, and even though it is a job, it is not only registering your website, it is registering you as a person with the AI. Right. Specifically, then the conflict of names, the same names, individuals. So I think they should chase for registering their name with Google Knowledge Graph. So it is called as Knowledge Graph Machine ID, MID, KGMID. So every individual who is into business and they want to thrive their business online, then they shall do this. And there is, I think, at Brokerage, we're helping people to do that. So I think there are some, I will say, I just summarize it, Profound and Wiki, but there are many tools, even though now SEMrush and Href, they are also, transforming their things. So Href had started to show entities inside a particular document, and SEMrush have induced, I think, before 3-4 months, they have started with topical authority, right, and pillar cluster approaches. So I think these are the tools, and these are what the people.
Right. Yeah. I think like beyond tools, we also need to revisit the whole attitude. And it's not just particular about what SEO team needs us, their upskill. It is also about how everyone, each of us actually needs this. Basically, the understanding of the whole company, each department, how they're contributing. And the best way is always trying to sit on the border. And what I really mean by that, if you're an SEO team, are you working with paid media team? If you're in paid media team, are you working with product marketing? If you're in product marketing team, are you working with sales team? Right. And then as you grow in your career, some of these learnings where you understand the perspective of the both the side of things, right, that will actually make the impact. Because I think context is the king, right? Right. And prompt engineering probably is one of the most skills right now. Are you working closely with your data science team? Some of the basic concepts like transformers, RAG, I mean that you should understand how these things work, because the SEO team is now also a data science team in some shape or manner. Different. If you're not close to those team members, you will try to research things, you'll try to learn, but it's always good to have like few people around you that are actually well versed and are specialists in that way, and that makes the whole journey a lot more interesting, meaningful. You like create those bonds, right? Yeah, that is important. Those are like more interpersonal and soft skills, but have really great value beside the technical side of things. So that is my 2 cents. Make sure that you don't restrict to one area. Try to unpack as many things as possible, especially if you are early in your career, because there's long way to go, and it's always good to have a good view of how the whole business works, how each department supports the end goal of driving more revenue.
I cannot agree more on this. I would like to just end this with one action item. Whoever watching this podcast or video, uh, please stand up inside your cubicle, come out of that cubby hole, and have a cup of coffee with your cross departments. Because until and unless you do that, I think it will be very difficult, and it is not something new, but it is in very context with the AI. Still, human behavior matters. Still, your knowledge, still the border of your knowledge, that does matter a lot.
Definitely. And the last thing I would say that LLM platform has a curse, and then the curse is the idea of being average. all the platforms have been trained with all the data that resides in the internet. That means the thing that it supports is generally going to be average. So unless you have direct connection with people who are above average, you will still remain average. You're always average of 5 people around you. So that people aspect matters. It matters with whom you are spending time. So those are like great skills to develop beside learning new tools, which is great, knowing more about AI, which is great. Even if you're an introvert, now you have a AI co-pilot with whom we can always talk. So that is our engine that now you have. But at the same time, real people matters.
Right. Well, definitely, that's really insightful, and I'm much sure that our audience will be literally googling so many stuffs, so many terms they have come across today. Well, thank you so much, Arpit. Thank you so much, Sunny, for the wonderful session. Really, really grateful to have you, and we expect to have more sessions in near future.
Definitely.
So, as we wrap up, one thing is clear that today's search era is not driven by keywords or shortcuts, but it is driven by reasoning. Today, AI interprets intentions, checks credibility, and ensures that which voice is to be heard. Well, the challenge is not about chasing algorithm. It's about delivering a content that stands up to scrutiny, answers with precision, and offers what AI wants. If your answer suits AI, it will reward you in the form of presence. If not, it will move on without hesitation. So, as AI keeps on evolving, our job is clear. Stay curious, stay conscious, and stay committed to what people actually want. Because in today's time, the one who digs deeper will shine better. Well, that's all for today. Meet you in our next episode. Till then, keep learning, keep evolving. Thank you.